Hello everyone! Today I will showcase my set that took me to rank 8 in Season 4 a few days ago, and the team is Pelipper in the lead with Whiscash and Skarmory in the back. This line is inspired by Danny Aguirre's 27th line where he led Altaria instead of Pelipper. The main idea is actually the simplest strategy possible that most people played when they first started playing PvP, and this is a lead winner strategy. There's no special technique here to flip a lost lead, but if you win the lead, Whiscash and Skarmory have excellent coverage in the back, so you should not be afraid of using both of the shields early to win switch advantage. In a really bad lead, you can kind of safe swap into Whiscash and hope that they don't have a grass type, but that is obviously not a comfortable safe swap. Pelipper is really strong as a lead, and that it has play against most things in the meta, like Azumarill, Galarian, Stunfisk, and fighters, and even some grass types. The movesets are all standard here, except for Flash Cannon on Skarmory, and I use it to not get walled by Bastiodon, because Bastiodon can be very troublesome for a team with 2 flyers. So let's get into the battles, and my first opponent in this run is Yes Ruse, and she leads with Azumarill, so this is a matchup that I know I can win, but it's not entirely sure. I need to land the Hurricane, and here I can safely no-shield one of the charge moves, but then I need to shield all of the following charge moves. So I go for the Hurricane and it lands, so at this point I know that I'm going to win the lead, which is basically the entire point of this line. So I win the lead and they send in Skarmory, so since Pelipper is so spammy, I'm going to be able to take one of the shields and almost reach another weather ball. And each of the weather balls only take 5 wing attacks to reach. But then my opponent has some energy on the Skarmory and I don't have a clean answer, so I send in my own Skarmory and tank all of the sky attacks. And then you see that I don't shield because I don't expect any Brave Birds in the beginning of a Skarmory matchup, but then I start shielding in the end because I need to save my Skarmory in case they have a grass type in the back. So at this point Skarmory would still be able to deal with some of the common grass types, but here I am getting very low, so instead of taking down the Skarmory with my own Skarmory, I bank a sky attack and switch into Whiscash. And here my opponent goes for Mud Bombs instead of Blizzard, which is a mistake, because Blizzard is both cheaper than 2 Mud Bombs and it deals more damage than 2 Mud Bombs, so there's no reason to not go for a Blizzard. And in the Whiscash mirror you just need to hit 1 Blizzard and 1 Mud Bomb and then you're done. So here I'm in a great spot and I know that I have Sky Attack ready, so I send in to use it, but then the game decides to use a fast move instead. But that's okay, because I will still be able to reach 1 Blizzard and take down the Skarmory. So that's a long but good first game. My next opponent is Bamwiftlol, and he leads with Leave Any, so this is great for me since it's double weak to flying type moves. And he safe switches into Alolan Marowak, so now I'm in a very good spot. So I start putting some shield pressure on this Alolan Marowak and then switch into Whiscash. And thinking back on this game, this is not a optimal play. I should have stayed with Pelipper since I now lose to a Bastiodon in the back, but at least I pretty much win against everything else. So now the Leave Any will come back and easily destroy my Whiscash, but that's okay, because I can farm down with Pelipper. And the reason I choose Pelipper instead of Skarmory to farm down with is firstly to keep my opponent guessing of what my last Pokemon is, but also that energy on Pelipper is worth slightly more than energy on Skarmory, since it has better charge moves. And my opponent sends in Swampert in the end and resigns the game. My third opponent in this run is MTN2B, and he leads with Shiftry, so this is great for me. This is a matchup that I know I can win if I just double shield. And then my opponent safe switches into the Defense Deoxys, so I counter switch into my Whiscash. And this is great since Whiscash has a positive matchup against Defense Deoxys, but also now it doesn't have to face the Shift Tree. So I spam my Mud Bombs here, because there's no reason to go for a Blizzard as long as he has shields up. And then here after this Thunderbolt, my opponent switches back into Shift Tree and I realize this is a Razor Leaf Shift Tree. So now I'm suddenly in an even better position, because Skarmory will easily be able to farm down all the way and have a bunch of energy. So now the only Pokemon that I'm worried about in the back is a Bastiodon. Everything else will easily be countered by a double shielded Skarmory and Pelipper. But the last Pokemon is an Azumarill, so this will easily be won by some Hurricanes and Sky attacks, but then my opponent resigns. And my next opponent is Eldora, and she leads with Altaria, so this is the first straight up lost lead in this set. So I try to safe switch into Whiscash, and my opponent stays in for a while, but then counter switches into Shift Tree. And as soon as I see the typing, I go straight for the Blizzard, and I'm lucky that she doesn't shield. So now I'm not going to shield since Whiscash has done its job. It has regained the switch advantage. So then I go for the Blizzard, and this is the most obvious Blizzard ever. But my opponent miscounted or something, because she didn't shield that either and resigns the game. My last opponent in this run is FRL, and he leads with Skarmory, so this is usually a bad matchup for Pelipper, but looking back, it turns out that this Skarmory is actually attack weighted. So then Pelipper actually wins the 2 shields. So in this position, I don't know that, but I'm still going to go for the 2 shields because I really need the switch advantage. Makes no sense to switch in my own Skarmory or the Whiscash, and then I might just get hard countered. So I stay in and connect with the Weather Ball, and then double up on my next Weather Balls, and hopefully I draw the last shield, and then I really hope that this is enough to take out this Skarmory, and it is. So now I'm in a great spot, and since Pelipper is so spammy, I will be able to reach 1 Weather Ball before he reaches a charge move at all. But it seems like he's committed to farming down with Snarls all the way, so I get 1 more wing attack, and now he's at 100 energy basically. And then he switches into Torterra against my Whiscash, and now I can farm down all the way. I miscounted there by 1 Razor Leaf, so I will have to take this Sand Tomb. I tried to hit the Sky attack, but at least I'm lucky that it didn't connect. And then Skarmory beats Umbreon in CMP, so now I win that game. So it turned out that I was very lucky there in the lead that he had a bad Skarmory, because if I'd lost the lead then my Whiscash would have gone up against the Razor Leaf Torterra and I probably would have lost the game. But that's it for this 5-0 run to reach rank 8 in Season 4. Thanks for watching!